Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a really big question. How can we use AI to explain other big ideas, but for a 5-year-old? We're going to look at a super interesting new approach that uses teams of AI agents to get the job done.
So, let's dive right in. This is a project called TinyTutor. Now, AI Agentic Educational Media Generator is a bit of a mouthful, right? But what it really means is that it's a smart system built to create educational stuff for little kids. It's a perfect example of how AI can solve a really human problem, teaching our youngest learners.
No, really, take a second. How would you do it? It's way harder than it sounds. And that question gets right to the heart of the challenge here, making complicated stuff simple, fun, and most importantly, emotionally safe for children.
And that's where we get to the real challenge, which is moving beyond just simple summaries. I mean, sure, lots of AI tools can shorten an article for you, but making truly great educational content for a young kid, that's a whole different ballgame. It's about so much more than just cutting down the word count.
You see, it's this incredibly delicate balance. To actually work, the content needs a very specific recipe. You've got to use a controlled vocabulary, make sure it's completely safe emotionally, pace it so a child can keep up, and even make sure the language sounds natural when an AI voice reads it. Every single one of these things is absolutely crucial.
So, the big question is, how can AI help us nail that delicate balance every single time? Well, that brings us to the core innovation we're talking about today, TinyTutor. Okay, so TinyTutor isn't just one big AI trying to do everything. It's what we call an agentic system. The best way to think about it is like a team of specialists. Each AI agent has one very specific job, and they work together like a well-oiled machine to create amazing, kid-friendly content reliably. This whole system was put together by Angela Kwok and Carlos Watts-Nogueira. It actually started out as a final project for a course they took with Kaggle and Google, and they used some pretty serious tech, like Google's Agent Dev Kit and Gemini, to see just how far they could push these agentic systems to solve real-world problems in education. So, how does this thing actually work? Well, let's go inside the factory. Honestly, the best way to picture TinyTutor is as a multi-agent assembly line, kind of a specialized factory just for making educational stories. You can see the assembly line has 3 main workers: the researcher, the storyteller, and the narrator. A different AI agent handles each job, and they are laser-focused on their one task. This division of labor is really the secret sauce that guarantees quality and consistency. All right, first up is the pedagogy agent. This is our researcher. Its one and only job is to take a big topic, like gravity, and break it down, explain like I'm 5 style. It makes sure all the key facts are there, but they're simple, accurate, and totally safe for a kid to hear.
Next, those simplified facts get passed down the line to the scriptwriter agent. This is the storyteller of the group. Its job is to weave those facts into a sweet, gentle story. It uses short sentences, a really warm tone, and it even sprinkles in a couple of questions to keep the listener engaged.
Now, check this out. This is a really clever detail. The scriptwriter is given a very specific rule. Keep playfulness through ideas and imagery, not noises. It's basically told to avoid sudden sound effects like zoom or bang, because those can be a bit much for some kids. It's a small thing, but it's so important for making the story feel emotionally safe. And the final stop on our assembly line is the audio generator agent. This one's the narrator. It takes that finished script and, using Google's text-to-speech, turns it into a polished, ready-to-listen audio file. It pays super close attention to the pacing and tone to make sure it's just right for a child. Okay, so we've seen how the factory works, but what's the final product? What does this whole process actually deliver to a parent or a teacher? You know, the whole idea is to take this really powerful, complex process and make it incredibly simple to use. It all kicks off with just a single topic from a user, and out comes a complete, ready-to-go story. So here's what it looks like in practice. A user types in a topic, anything you can think of, from why is the sky blue to what are germs, and the AI factory just hums to life. A few moments later, it spits out the whole package, the simple explanation, the full story script, and the final audio file you can play right away. But you know what? This is really just the beginning. A system like TinyTutor is more than just a cool tool. It's a proof of concept that opens up a ton of possibilities for the future of AI in education. And the team behind it has some seriously ambitious plans for what's next. I mean, imagine this system not just making audio, but also generating little animated videos to go along with the stories. They're even thinking about an interactive mode where a kid could actually answer the questions in the story out loud and get a response from the AI. How cool is that?
At the end of the day, TinyTutor is just a fantastic example of how these agentic AI systems can take on complex, creative, and very human tasks. It really leaves us with a fun question to think about. If you had a tool just like this, what big idea would you want to turn into a tiny story for the next generation?